Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Simply Michelle, and happy to have you. I have been reading the story called The Promise, written by moi, of course. So without itching, let's get right into it. I promise, repeated Ben, hugging his wife tighter. Tessa nodded her head as she stared over his shoulder, looking out the window, watching the raindrops. 4 hours later, everyone were exhausted. As a result, they have retired to bed early. While Tessa slept like a baby, every noise the lodge made, Ben heard. Funny enough, this was the first time since they have arrived at cabin he have been so restless. The heavy crack and creaks and noise of the floors in the hallway, it have gotten louder. Ben glanced over at Tessa. She was still fast asleep. He gently got out of bed. Where did I put that flashlight? He asked himself, tipping on his toes, being paranoid. Ah, got it, he exclaimed. Now there was also a light rustling sound, and now howling, and even a roar. The winds, along with the heavy rain, began to give Ben a feel of something sinister was about to happen. He gripped the flashlight tight like a weapon. Dear God, dear God, cover me. If there is an intruder in this lodge, let it be him going down and not me, whispered Ben as he turned the corner of the dark passage. The loud cracking like of the floor sounding as heavy footsteps began to move closer to Ben. He rushed around the corner and landed into the sound and grabbed onto something and said, "Got you. You son of a..." Ben yelled. "What the heck?" cried Greg. "Greg, what are you doing up? I thought you was an intruder. I was about to land you flat." The better question is, what are you going around doing with a small flashlight that could not even hurt a fly? Said Greg, laughing. Ha 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 ha, mimic Ben. You have jokes. I see. Answer my question, Greg. It's not funny, dude. What if I was carrying a knife or a sledgehammer? Asked Ben. Sorry, man. The spicy food I had from the village earlier have made my stomach sick. And I've been living on the toilet, so I decided to use the restroom at the far end of the hall. I didn't turn on the lights because I didn't want to wake anyone up. Nevertheless, I guess it didn't work, explained Greg. Actually, I couldn't sleep. The memory of the lunatic out there stalking my wife have me in a bind, man. The whole escapade with the weather and the noise of the trees made matters even worse, said Ben. Do you want to join me for a cup of coffee? Asked Greg. No to coffee, but yes, I'll take my chamomile tea, of course. I'm not a lover of coffee. I suggest you have a cup of the chamomile tea as well. It will soothe your stomach, suggested Ben. Really? Great. How come I didn't know about that? Said Greg. Not sure as how you didn't know. However, ginger tea, black tea, chamomile tea, just to name a few, are all good options. These teas can help you relax and you're having a bad tummy ache, or even worse, a good case of diarrhea. It reduces inflammation, easing your digestive system, said Greg. I learned most of this stuff from my mom and dad living in the village. So don't feel too bad, said Ben. Laughed Greg. I hear you. Put fun and joke aside, man. You have trouble sleeping, asked Greg. Well, the note and all that has been happening since yesterday caused me to feel a bit helpless. I feel like I have failed Tessa, as if I couldn't protect her from this lunatic hiding in the shadow, explained Ben in a low voice. Here's your tea, man. I forgot to ask you how many spoons of sugar you usually take. I hope it's not too sweet. It's fine. Ben took a sip and answered. Great. Be encouraged, man. Don't be so hard on yourself. There was absolutely no way you could have known all those messages and the mess of things, that this kid have caused. You could have known that it would be like this. Besides, like you said, the person doing this is indeed infatuated. He is the highest class of a lunatic. We just have to make sure Tess is not alone on the outside. At least until we get to the bottom of it all, said Greg. Ben looked at him and sighed. I couldn't agree with you more, man, he said and sipped his tea. The next morning, not being able to sleep, Ben was the first one to rise. Good morning, babe. Wow, look at all this food. You did all this by yourself? As if you're preparing for a feast, said Tessa. Mwah. She leaned in and placed a good one on his cheek. Thank you, my love. I needed that, expressed Ben, and reached for a piece of the toast and began to eat. Ben! Ben! Called Sam. I will let the others know breakfast is served. Go see what Sam is about, said Tessa. Okay, answered Ben. What's up, dude? Asked Ben, irritated. Have you seen this? Asked Sam. Seen what? Look, man. Oh, no, I haven't. It's the first I'm coming outside from this morning. Where are they trailing from? Well, I have to get my early morning walks and run in. At first, I didn't pay much attention until I was on my way back. I noticed it was coming from all the way from the track of the river to your guy's window. Thank God you're on the second floor. I guess they back into a brick wall, explained Sam. Sighed Ben. All right, do you have your phone on you? Let me take some pics. I don't want to startle the ladies. Those footprints look a lot like a Nike or an Air Force. Size 10 to be exact, said Ben. Seriously, Ben, is it worth it to stay here and play detectives? Or wouldn't it be better we call the cops and let them deal with it all? Asked Sam. Put this away. What? Sam, I will not let a little punk scare me off my own property or have me run into the police at the first sign of danger. 5 hours later. 5 hours later, in the hot summer afternoon, under the wide twisted branches of the old oak tree, the three friends have carved out a patch of lazy silence. They sat cross-legged and the huge blanket in the grass. Eyes flickered across her iPad screen, occasionally swiping with a scroll, editing her photograph portfolio. Next to her, Tessa lay on her stomach, book cracked open, her lips moving silently with each line. She didn't look up once, not even when a bird quacked above or even when Ashley cursed under her breath. That book had her tighter than any group chat ever could. Meanwhile, Julie, half lying, half sprawled out on a phone, glued to her ear, giggling and twirling a piece of her hair fall loose to the side of her face. "Now, you hang up first," she whispered, oblivious to the eye roll Ashley shot her way. The girlfriends under the tree, each apart in their own little world. Dave's smell of rosemary and wet soil freshly turned. The birds murmured in the distance while the bees made lazy loops in the air. Then came the voice, soft at first, like a breeze humming through tall grass, then stronger, rich, low, effortlessly melodic, a tune half whistled, half sung. Something old, something comforting. Julie passed mid-giggle. Ashley pulled out one earbud. Tessa lifted her head. Across the garden, near the row of the lavender bushes, Dave stood with a watering can in one hand, a trowel in the other. He didn't know they were watching, or maybe he did, and just didn't care. His shirt clung to his body from the heat, his hair tousled from the wind, and his voice made them forget for a moment that he was just the boy next door, barely 19. Tessa's eyes lingered too long, but beneath that easy charm, something dark stirred. Last evening, she had found a note tied to a cat's leg, confessing one's love towards her. It was typed, no name, just the one in the shadows. No clue until this morning. Mystery footprints from the river leading straight to Ben and Tessa's bedroom window. And yet, watching him hum to himself in the sunlight, skin browned by the summer work, sitting in for his dad, that suspicion felt almost cruel, almost. Still, when his gaze finally flicked up and met hers across the garden, something unreadable passed between them. Not a smile, not quite fear either. Just a question hovering in the stillness. Who was watching whom? Ben crouched beneath the edge of the far end of the lodge property. Ben Nicholas pressed to his face, trying not to curse out loud as a bramble clawed at his skin. "This is ridiculous," muttered Sam beside him, fidgeting in the underbush. "We are 20-odd-year-olds, not in some old bloody spy novel." "Shut up," Ben hissed. "There, look." They all leaned in, three grown men hidden like schoolboys up to mischief, past the rose garden and the swinging hydrangeas. The boy moved through the garden with deliberate ease. Dave, the Cambridge golden boy, too charming, too quiet, too close, thought Ben. "I swear to God, if he sings again," muttered Greg, the third of their little surveillance, the third of the little surveillance squad. Ben didn't respond. He couldn't. His jaw was tight. There was something about that kid that set his nerves on edge. The way Tessa looked at him just a little too long. The way he looked back, like he wasn't just tending a garden, but studying something, someone. Ben had brushed it off at first. The weird note, the small things going missing, Tessa's old scarf, a pair of the funny socks I gave her. But when she read him the message from last evening, even the part no one bothered to read at the back written in fine print, "You glow differently in the shade," he stopped laughing. This shit is no longer funny, thought Ben. Now he watched Dave carefully, the way the boy paused occasionally to glance at the oak tree where the girls lodged, the way his eyes hovered on Tessa before flickering away. Too controlled. "I don't like this," Ben murmured. "He's too comfortable, too calculated." "He's 19, coughed Greg. "Probably just a genuine crush." "Crushes don't leave type letters in your house tied to a cat's leg," Ben snapped. "Crushes don't know where your wife keeps her scarves and socks." That shut them up immediately. Then something shifted. Dave bent down, supposedly to grab a dropped glove, but his hand lingered at the base of the porch steps, near the planter where the cat with the note had been found. His fingers brushed something under the edge. "Did you see that?" Ben whispered harshly. "He's checking the hiding spot." Sam swore softly. "You think he's retrieving something or leaving one," said Sam. They watched, breathless in silence, as Dave straightened, glanced towards the tree, and then, catching eyes with Tessa, smiled faintly, turning back to his work like nothing had happened. But Ben wasn't fooled. He knew that smile. It wasn't a boy's smile. And by the time this summer ended, Ben promised he'll have proof, one way or another. That punk wasn't just planting flowers. He was planting something much dangerous. And that gave Ben a thump in his gut. as he promised to himself once and for all to get to the bottom of this and suck it to that little punk for secretly drooling like a thirsty cat that saw the best of fish out of water. I'll get you, punk. Keep on smiling. Keep on eyeing my woman. Your days are short-lived. I'm on to you. I'm on to you, said Greg. And guys, we will stop here for today. As we say, story is really coming to bump. The audacity of Dave. Or is he just, at this point, is that little punker? Is it an innocent crush? Well guys, let us stay tuned to see what it is that Ben will discover, because he is relentless and he will not stop until his wife is safe again in their environment, enjoying their summer. So you have reached it thus far to the video. How is it you have not yet liked it? Come on, like the video. And you over there who have not subscribed as yet, it's time to do so. And thank you to all my lovely supporters. God bless you all. Continue to support and enjoy the story and comment. And as I always say, Philippians 4 verse 13, I can do all things through Christ who strengtheneth me. So whatever you find to do today, do it to the best of your ability. Bye bye.